Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode 202. I'm Owen the Birdman Finch, and I'm here with...
James the He-Man Heber. I know some of you are probably asking, why is there no edits?
Yo.
Here's your short answer. Fuck the pandemic.
Yo.
My energy for editing anything really has been drained.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like editing. So until I am vaccinated, I'm pretty sure I already said this, but then YouTube decided to be a butt as usual and deleted my video.
Yo.
I will not be editing anything for the foreseeable future. There is a few things that will be edited, and then we're going to take a very long hiatus.
Yes.
God knows how long that's going to actually take at this point.
You're pretty much, I guess, you're just going to be a guest on things, so...
Yeah. And who knows if I'll actually ever host again, because I think I've come to the realization where... I mean, not for nothing, but I don't think I'm a very good host with certain things, unless it's something creative, like... examples are the ECW booking series for fantasy, the Indie Force podcast, which involved creativity, and Danny Thief Wrestling, which is the big one.
I've also I'm probably dropping this on you. I've come to the realization too, like, I still will. I don't mind it, I guess, but I like to be more of like a on-camera person than just actually editing things behind the scenes. But I think I have to kind of be that way because unfortunately, like, you basically can't succeed in YouTube without it. But whatever, it's whatever. But anyhow, yeah, I am doing something new for this rundown. Nothing editing wise, but I am gonna So, for example, if you only want to hear about certain things on the show, I'm going to put timestamps down of when we talk about everything. So that way you can just skip to that specific topic. I got an index card right here, and I'm going to pause the video when we get to like a certain topic, which is going to happen like in a couple seconds. So that way I don't have to go back and watch the video and do it, because then I won't end up doing it because it's just too much of a headache.
That's smart.
So I'm glad I'm only doing this with James, because this is a trial run period for it. So
we will say we will come back to full on editing. Using strictly OBS.
Yeah.
Because I figured out how that works now, and I can show Owen the ropes on how to actually work that as well.
And then
where instead of rendering videos, it would just be straight on YouTube on a private upload. That's probably how we're going to do this from this point.
Because we can't upload strictly to YouTube now, because apparently, like, literally, I only did like a 40-minute video, and it took like 2 hours to upload. So,
because YouTube is terrible right now.
I think my sister's fiance, it says it has something to do with like the fact that like they're making it like so like the people that get paid now can upload things quicker than I can. I can't really explain it because it's like a big technical term thing, but you say it might be
let me tell you what it is. High class versus low class.
Yeah.
We are definitely low class.
Yeah.
We are low brow to these fucking people. So
yeah. So yeah, in this episode though, from now on,
get famous and then prove you motherfuckers wrong, by the way. Haha.
Yeah. But for this, we're gonna talk about all things that are going on in Impact and AEW, minus AEW Dog, because I didn't watch it. I probably should have watched it, but I didn't really feel like watching like over like 2 hours of squash matches, so I just didn't really feel like it. Sorry, man. That's just how I feel, man.
No, I don't blame me. Hey, can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, we're back. I don't remember what we were talking about now, but yeah, pretty much. I think I was about to literally say what we're going to talk about in this rundown, and then
the fact that Impact was better than Dynamite this week, which is a fucking rarity.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about like everything Impact and AEW related minus Doc. So yeah, let's talk. We're going to talk about that.
We could go over the results of Dark.
I didn't watch it. We're not talking about it. So
it was an interesting episode. That's all I'll say. Private Party also got a win there too. So they literally pulled a Rick Rude
Yeah, they were everywhere this week.
Working together instead of competing against each other.
But yeah, let's start off with AEW Dynamite. Okay, so my bad. We're actually talking about Impact Hard to Kill, but I just screwed up. So, yep. So yeah, let's talk about it. We're not gonna go. I'm just gonna kind of quickly run through it since James didn't see it. I won't go through everything move for move because we're not gonna do that anymore because then the video would be long as hell, and we don't want long as hell videos anymore. Plus, it's almost 10 o'clock at night. We'll be here till 2 in the morning. So, yeah. You know, they had some things go on. You know, I'll just kind of, you know, when it comes to this, like instead of going through everything segment by segment, I'll go through like the matches, and if there was like a segment that kind of had to do with the match, I'll talk about that too. We had the live countdown, which is like the pre-show pretty much. We had the panel of John Borton, Madison Rayne, and Scott D'Amore. They actually did really well on the panel together. I thought they did pretty damn good stuff.
Why have I heard his name before? By the way, John.
Maybe. Well, it's not. He's done other Impact panels before, so maybe that's it.
Probably when I've heard him before then.
Yep. This was the I say this because it's significant. This was the first commentary stint on the Impact that D'Lo Brown and Matt Striker did together. I thought they were much better than Josh Matt.
Did a fucking great job, actually.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a choice. I didn't realize how good D'Lo Brown was, like, behind the headset. He's really, really, really underrated.
I never realized. I know this is.
On the top, and he's only going to get better because I think that was his first time doing that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't realize this though, but him and Samoa Joe sound alike. Like some of the times I thought it was Joe out there on commentary.
It's just D'Lo Brown more upbeat. I wonder why. Probably working for a better company, all things considered.
Yep. Significant.
Who would have thought I'd said that? Fucking. Remember all those rants I did on Impact on Rundown like 5 years ago? Who would ever thought that would come out of my mouth?
Whoever would have thought like, didn't you do a rant? You basically made an early stage of fantasy booking of what Impact could have been, and yeah, now you're like you love Impact now. So,
ages. Cringy James still can make a fucking roster better than Impact.
But yeah, so significant that happened. The only two significant things that really happened on this show that the rest we'll talk about later is Brian Myers defeated Josh Alexander in a good match. It was like 3 stars. Your microphone keeps cutting in and out.
I know why that's happening. I know exactly why that's happening. That's how we're gonna solve it. Now you're all going to have to hear me chew. My apologies in advance, but it's the only way. It's the only way.
Yep. But a dead air now because of me.
Oh, hello.
That's a dead air because we're not talking. Yeah, I hear you.
There we go. Much better.
Let's try that.
Anyhow, light up a lot. Oh well.
What were you saying about the match?
The match I heard was actually a really good showcase for both Brian Myers and Josh Alexander.
Yes, it was good.
It's like, dude, it's a shame too, like how little of a fuck people gave a shit about Brian Myers. Like he's actually so good.
Yeah,
in the ring, he's so sound. He's just great. He's just a great in-ring wrestler. And I think people forget about that when you see him doing the jobbers thing. It's good that he's, finally being used, even if it is in a semi-comedic role. At least he, looks the part and he's able to actually be semi-serious.
Yep.
For a change. And actually is on a win streak right now.
Absolutely. He actually won via taking Josh Alexander's headgear off and hitting the wicked clothesline on him. So it was a pretty damn good match. So didn't offend anybody. It didn't offend me. Didn't offend you. It offended probably Josh Alexander because he lost, but you know, I don't think he won't be too mad about it. He'll get over it. So,
I mean, apparently, Josh Alexander found a new tag team partner though, and
yep, we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
I have a feeling we're gonna see a match between Matt Cardona and Matt Cardona and Josh Alexander versus Brian Myers and Ethan Page.
Yeah.
But then Cardona's gonna turn on his teammate.
And
right?
join up. Yep.
Ethan Page is just gonna be like, "Oh no, you fucking don't!" And he starts beating the shit out of them. And then
that'd be cool.
That would be an innovative way to build that tag match, for the record. Just saying.
Absolutely. So yeah, then we had the actual show itself. We had Decay minus Abyss because he's in the WWE now versus Tenille Dashwood and Caleb with a K. It's a pretty decent little match here. I like, Crazy Steve now. He has a monkey now that he's best friends with. I don't think he came out with it this time because he just didn't. But yeah, this was a pretty damn good little match right here. They actually ended up getting the win when it was intergender too, which I actually like so much better than just doing a mixed tag because I hate mixed tag matches because it just throws the chemistry off of like tag matches and stuff. But both of the heels got like a miss to the face, and then Crazy Steve hit a DDT from the second turnbuckle, not like a corner DDT, but like he just jumped off and did it to Caleb with the K and won. I didn't have any issue with this at all because they're crazy. So you got to give the crazy people their win. Got to give them their time in the sun. Plus, I just they're building up Crazy Steve and Rosemary right now, so. I thought this
will stay as a very underrated talent, though.
Absolutely, I would say so too. I like how it's kind of funny how Tenille Dashwood's back to the gimmick she was doing before she left WWE, and they're kind of doing it better in a sense.
I wouldn't even say that's the gimmick because everybody, I think that's a common misconception.
Yeah.
Her gimmick now is that of a social media influencer, whereas in WWE. They just wanted her to just be straight up Sable.
Yo. No, I'm saying that I'm talking about it's all about Tenille instead of it's all about, Emma. So there you go.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Why change something that works?
Yeah.
That was her idea anyway.
Then we had an old school rules match. It was Eric Young, Dino, and Joe Dolan, which is now known as Violent by Design, versus Rhino, Tommy Dreamer, and Cousin Jake. I don't really mind the name too much. I didn't really like it at first, but then I kind of grew to like it, just like the Inner Circle name. So I thought that was a pretty damn cool little name. I do kind of question though,
They are Violent by Design.
Yeah.
But my question is, who then joins Violent by Design? Is the Decay gonna make new friends and join?
Yeah.
Are they gonna get Cousin Jake involved?
No.
Are they gonna get Sami Callihan to exact his revenge?
I still want to see.
Are they gonna recruit Davey Richards?
I still want to see a Sami Callihan, Eric Young match. They're both basically like the same guy. Like they have the same voices, same gimmicks, everything. Like.
Yeah, that's right.
Like honestly, you could close your eyes when they're doing a promo and you wouldn't even know who's talking. Like it's just that. Yeah, but I don't mind the name. I like the match. I thought it was a pretty damn good match. I liked how this was a real fight. Everyone just beat the crap out of each other. Obviously they use the weapons because it's Rhino and Tommy Dreamer in a match. They're not going to use weapons in an old school rules match. Eventually, though, Eric Young.
It's very odd that they would use weapons, and the match stipulation is old school rules.
Yup.
That's not old school.
They think it is, so.
That's their old school.
Eventually,
Eric. I guess we can't complain. At least nobody got disqualified for going over the top rope.
Oh, it's bad. Yeah. I remember Hulk Hogan threw Mick Markwinkle over the top rope and he was disqualified. So, Eric Young.
How about where WCW did it?
Yep.
And then they connected it for like the whole show until the main event for some dumb reason.
Yep. Eventually, though, Eric Young hits a pile driver on Cousin Jake for the win. No issues because the Violent by Design, the stable you're building right now, so obviously they should win. And if you want to have Cousin Jake defeat like Dino in a match, you should build to that. I never realized how small I said this last episode. I never realized how small he was. I always thought he was a big dude, but now that he's like away from Cousin Jake, he's much smaller than I remember him. Like, not that that's a bad thing. I always thought he was a big dude. So
I always thought both of them were big dudes, and then it was just like you take them apart, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, they're kind of small.
Pretty small.
And then we had the finals of the Knockouts Tag Team Championship tournament. It was Kayla Hogan and Tasha Steelz versus Havoc and Nevaeh. It's a pretty damn good.
Thank God. The other team won.
Yeah, this is
although Havoc.
Yes, this is a pretty damn good match, though. I was a bit disappointed about it because it's not. Maybe because I got too busy watching like the Dusty Tag Classic and other tournaments, your tournament, that I just expect more from like finals of a tournament. This did not feel like the finals of a tournament at all.
Oh, great. Now I'm responsible. I don't want to be responsible for people not liking tournaments. That's not why I did it.
But like, this was still a pretty good match. It just didn't feel like the finals of a tournament. But Kayla Hogan and Tasha Steelz won, and they are the new tag team champs. They like the belts. Afterwards, they were
feud with Ivelisse and Diamante with the AEW Impact partnership.
Afterwards, Gail Kim and Madison Rayne came out and handed them the titles. And I forgot to say it, but Madison Rayne announced on the Countdown show that she's retiring. She's going to go home and be a mom. Probably just going to be a producer backstage, I have a feeling. I don't think she's but she's retiring from like an on-screen perspective. I would imagine she's going to be doing stuff. Huh?
Also in ring. That was probably for the best.
Yeah.
Because honest to God, her last match that I saw her in, which was I think Mayon Classic. I mean, she didn't have it to begin with.
Yeah.
But she really lost her step by the time she showed up there.
And then the last match she had that I saw was, I think she had like some type of three-way match. It was her, Jordan Grace, and Kayla Hogan. I don't think she did much in that match either. So,
probably a good idea to just quit while she was ahead.
And she wasn't good on behind the booth, I didn't think.
Hey, you know what? She'll be a good mom, I'm sure, though.
Yes.
So.
And then also earlier on the show, Ace Austin was like being interviewed about on the Countdown show, going over the show, and he was upset that he wasn't even on the show, and he won like the Super X Cups at Genesis. So he came out, and there was supposed to be an X Division title match following this, and he just invaded the show, even though they played his music and everything. But I am gonna overlook that because maybe he forced them backstage, and we just didn't see it. And he's upset. He wants to be added to the X Division title match since he's the Super X Cup winner. And said Scott D'Amore comes out and says he will give him a match, and it's against Matt Cardona, who's now in Impact now because he's used up his dates in AEW. But since they kind of have a partnership,
what changed?
Yeah. They had like a nice little match here. The match ended off a disqualification, which I really didn't like because I just thought because Matt Cardona just laid everybody out anyway. So it's like, if you were just gonna have him do that, why not have him get the win? So I really, I really didn't like the DQ finish or any of that, but it was still cool to see Matt Cardona in Impact and stuff. And I haven't really talked about it because I didn't do the video. When he debuted in AEW and everything, he's jacked now. Like he is. Rejuvenized now and everything. I'm really looking forward to see what he does, outside of WWE because he's been in that bubble for so long and stuff.
He is a more charismatic Matt Morgan.
Yep. So yeah, that was a pretty. I didn't really mind that too much. So I just would have had Matt Cardona get the win, even if it was off like a roll up or something. So. Then we had the triple threat match for the X Division belt. It was Manic defending against Chris Bay and Rohit Waju. Pretty damn great little match here. It's, the heel. I liked how it was every man for himself, because typically I don't like it. It was a little bit of that, but you could clearly see it was kind of more by happenstance when the heels would work together. So I like that they made it every man for himself, and there was always at least 3 guys doing something at once, because I always hated when triple threat matches are the other way around. Eventually, Manic gets his mask ripped off, but because he's wearing face paint, the ref's like, well, it ain't T.J. Perkins, it's still Manic, which doesn't add up at all. Even Matt Stryker was calling this out. Like, the match should have he should have been disqualified, and Rohit Waju and Chris Bay should have continued fighting for a vacated title. Like, this doesn't make any sense at all. However, it didn't really affect the match too much. Manic won with a roll-up after Rohit Waju hit a move. I forget the move because it's been a few days.
Well, here's the thing. Apparently, by wrestling logic, and this is how they explained it in Impact.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
I'll just spoil that now.
Yeah.
Because Manic and TJ Perkins are 2 different people, you see.
Yes.
The stipulation lapsed the minute Manic won the title. So in reality, the stipulation was void, and that was TJ Perkins' out.
I see.
He foiled the heels.
But if you do remember, though, Scott D'Amore basically admitted that they were the same person on Impact. He's like, yeah, it's clear that they're both the same person and stuff. Like, they're both the same person.
It's also Scott D'Amore, who's a fucking shit starter anyway.
Okay. That is true. You know what? You got me there. Dude,
that guy is fucking hilarious, man. I was hating him. I fucking starting to really like him now. Yeah, he's just a fucking troll who happens to run a wrestling company.
You saw the episode of him. You saw the episode of Impact where, after Deonna and Kimberly lost the tournament, she was upset that she had all this stuff going on, and he was like, "Oh, well, since you don't have a lot of stuff going on now, why don't you just go defend your title this Sunday?" It was so great. He's just like...
I fucking love Scott, dude. Scott's the best. You know what the funny thing is, too? He reminds me of Johnny.
Yep.
He's just Johnny. Johnny Star as a general manager for a wrestling promotion.
Yep.
I'm almost waiting for him to start screaming on Impact, Birdman for champ.
In my fantasy book, and I'm going to make myself an authority figure, I might just start to do that. I'll have AJ Styles come out.
Birdman for champ.
It'd be great. All right, though, yeah. Continuing with this. The match was still great. Manic won with a roll-up. It's a pretty damn great match.
It was a very good match. I did see highlights. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it was a great match. Not just a very good match. Then Deonna Purrazzo defended the Impact Women's title against against Taya Valkyrie, but she had Kimberly and Susan ringside with her. And Taya Valkyrie had Decay with her. Earlier in the show, Taya Valkyrie was backstage, and Decay... She didn't want Decay out there at first, but Decay knew that she was going to pull something... That Deonna Purrazzo was going to pull something, so they decided to have her out there. It's a really good match. It was very sloppy in the beginning because I guess the match technically didn't start, and everyone just got into a fight with each other, so everyone got ejected. And Susan, who's I think meant to be some type of lawyer or something now, is recording this saying, "Well, we're going to use this later," but it never got used later. And it's probably never going to get used later because we'll talk about it when we actually review Impact.
Actually, technically, I think it will. Say that statement again.
It's not going to get used after.
No, before that.
Susan was caught in this, and she's like, "I'm going to use this later."
What happened to her on Impact?
She got written off.
How did she get written off?
We'll talk about it when we get there. Gotta leave the people in suspense.
All I will say with that is, I do not think Taya is leaving Impact now.
But let's continue.
And if she does leave, it's to Dynamite. It's pretty much confirmed she ain't going to WWE now.
But continuing though. I like this match. It was Deonna Purrazzo targeting the arm of Taya Valkyrie, and then eventually she made a comeback. But eventually, Deonna Purrazzo made her tap out to like some type of like Rings of Saturn and all that type of stuff.
I like it.
Yeah,
Saturn.
it's good stuff. Made sense to keep the belt on Deonna Purrazzo. I forgot to write down my star rating, but I'll say my star ratings at the end. Ethan Page wrestled the Karate Man in a very awful cinematic match. It was just basically him and under the
I want to see how bad this is going to be, though.
It was just pretty much. It was just him sitting in front of a green screen as the two gimmicks that they clearly like poorly edited together. Like honestly, this seems like something that like maybe not me, but maybe someone underneath me would have edited, like using iMovie or something. It's that bad. Eventually, Karate Man rips his heart out, and this basically killed off. This happened. He ripped his heart out. It was. I think they were going for a Mortal Kombat vibe there.
Wait. So, are you telling me Karate Man lives and Ethan Page is gone?
Yup. Apparently, too, this wasn't meant to go down this way because Ethan Page like said something like that. There was something else that they had in mind that he was pitching and stuff, but Impact just kind of lowballed him. So.
Oh, he might be leaving then.
Yeah, he's leaving. I think he's leaving. And he's probably not gonna go to Dynamite since they're partnered with Dynamite, unless like he just never go. He never go to Impact for ever again. So. We'll see what happens with it. That was bad. Then we had the Barbed Wire Massacre match, and it's Eddie Edwards versus Sami Callihan. Earlier in the show, the hacker Sami Callihan. By the way, I loved how it was the whole reason he left WWE, and he's doing like the hacker gimmick now, but it's like so much better than what he did in WWE now. So
the ICU fucking hacking thing.
Yup.
So much. I love his setup too, the way he fucking gets everything ready.
Yup.
Such good stuff, dude.
I remember, like, I love how he does it too. Like, he just takes his phone out and like just hits a couple of keys and all that type of stuff. So, he cuts a promo on the show. I don't remember what he said, but it was a pretty damn good promo. And Eddie Edwards asked his wife Ashla Edwards or Alicia Edwards not to be out there.
Alicia.
This was a great violent match. The barbed wire was everywhere. They had like a cage with barbed wire on it. They had like a boards outside the ring. They had like a structure. They had like a ton of stuff that was on barbed wire. They actually had Foley Mike was on because he would appreciate this, like an N64 controller wrapped in barbed wire. It was pretty damn cool actually. And it kind of fits. It kind of fits with like his hacker gimmick since that has to do with technology and stuff. Even though I don't think he can hack.
Might as well use it.
I don't think he. And that did get used and stuff, so that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was a very brutal match, very violent. Sami Callihan debuted in a new theme song. I don't think it's as good as the one he was using before, but maybe he had to get rid of it because maybe like the band was like, nah, we're done here. See ya. But yeah, this was a very violent match. Sami Callihan paid homage to Cactus Jack and did the elbow drop on the floor with like the board and stuff on him. Just definitely go watch it. It was very violent. Eddie Edwards did win with his finish, not the Boston Nebo, but his other finish, which makes sense because what was, huh?
He has another finish?
Yeah, he has another finish. I don't remember the name of it.
A submission or like regular move?
Some type of regular move, like on the barbed wire. Some type of driver.
Omega driver, probably.
Probably. But it was a pretty damn great match. And it made sense for Eddie Edwards to win, obviously, because it was the culmination of the 2-year feud. If Eddie Edwards doesn't win, then he would have wasted everybody's time. Especially theirs, because they would have gone through all this hell for nothing. So, yeah, I thought it was a pretty damn great match and pretty damn great culmination to this feud that started 2 years ago. Which is funny, because all of this started because of an accident. So,
Hey, by the way, not for nothing, but what does Sammy Callahan do? Because he's signed until 2023. So
yeah,
is it just written off for a bit? Take time off?
I mean, he should. It sells the match, so
I would. Is that the whole reason they did it?
No, because he signed like.
Also, where's Ken Shamrock? And all this.
He did show up, like when Alicia Edwards was kidnapped and like locked in the cage, and he like attacked Eddie Edwards. Like
yeah, but where has he been since?
It was like a week ago.
He wasn't there.
I don't know where he's been.
He might be battling COVID or something.
Yeah. See, I don't want to make that assumption though, because apparently Wrestle Talk made that assumption about Tyson Kidd once, and he got all mad about it. So I especially don't want Ken Shamrock.
I never said that he did. I'm just speculating. You know?
Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't want Ken Shamrock mad at you. I don't think you don't want him mad at you.
Hey, I'll take that badge of honor. I got my ass beat by Ken Shamrock.
But continuing, though, the main event of the show, it was the AEW World Champion and the Impact World Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, with Don Callis inside, facing Rich Swann, the Impact World Champion, Chris Sabin and Moose in an interpromotional promotion versus promotion champion versus champion match. Mouthful right there.
Here's the thing, actually. You're not going to do my boy Moose like that because he was also a champion. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
There was like fucking 5 belts in this one match between 6 people.
Because Moose is technically the uncrowned TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So, I forgot to mention in the show, by the way, too, they added crowd noise. We could talk about whether we like it or not. I actually like it just because it's better than them just having a match, like just them wrestling in an empty arena.
It is much better at this point, yeah.
Because I'll tell you, it was not easy going from watching Impact and Dynamite back to back because you'd have one with no crowd and that makes no noise, and then you have one with like a legit crowd. So.
They gotta hit us on that shit.
Huh?
Mixing-wise.
Yep.
Every company that does these fucking audio things need to get me. They can get a hold of me. Yep. Pay me handsomely at this point, because, oh boy.
Yes. Throughout the show, Don Callis was trying to convince Moose to turn on Impact and basically saying, like, you signed with us, I can make your life a living hell now, which I kind of like that break of the fourth wall because, it's really cool because we always say, like, that's what Vince does and stuff, so that was clearly, like, a shot at Vince and stuff.
Yeah.
Moose even, and I like, how Rich Swann and Moose didn't want to work together, like Rich Swann backstage was saying, that if he had the option, Willie Mack would be here, but since you took him out, I'm stuck with you. And I even like Moose's explanation. He even says, like, when I was playing football, I had to work with people that I didn't like, but I always did it to win the game. I meant to say the match, but it's the game. So he said he's willing to do the same thing. And this was a fantastic match. It wasn't quite.
I heard it was like the fucking match of the night too, yeah. And Moose shined here as well. Moose in particular, really shined.
Yeah, it was great. It wasn't quite 5 stars, but it was pretty damn close. I really like how they didn't have Moose turn on his team because that would have been just terrible. Wouldn't have made any sense at all. Unless, like, I know Moose wants to go after Rich Swann, but it just would have been too predictable. That's like a predictable thing that you do that's bad. Like, that just. I
love how they waited until afterwards.
Yeah, and then I also loved. Oh my gosh, I think Moose took like a V trigger and no sold it. I've never seen anybody do that before. Yeah, it's a pretty damn great match.
I miss comedic Moose though.
Yeah, when he was like doing the tennis.
It kind of scares me.
And he's not even angry too. I even love it. Like, he's not even angry doing it.
No emotion now. EC3, what have you done? My boy used to do comedy skits and shit.
I still remember the tennis one when he was supposed to tie the guy up in the tennis. I remember too. Remember too, like when the guy was trying to get him to like stand in the proper place, and Moose was like standing right in front of the net. He's like, "No, I'm fine right here, guy. I'm fine right here."
I fucking love him. He's so good. Just took a shit all over Donald Trump with that roast too.
No, do you remember? I don't know if you did you ever see the basketball one he did when he played basketball against the guys, and he's like, and then
he had camera angles where he quote scored.
Yep. And then at the end, like he's like, "Yeah, you're so good." And then at the end, like he like threw one of the guys in like the basketball hoop and stuff like that. Like
Moose and Van Dam, the highlights of Impact.
Oh yeah. I still
they
remember
had a segment. It was hilarious.
I still remember the Van Dam one when he was supposed to show up on Impact. It was advertised and everything, and then he did the cell phone thing where he was like, "Oops." I guess that was all that party and me and Katie were doing last. That was before I knew all the party me and Katie were doing to do last night.
Partying. I bet you were partying, Van Dam.
Yep. And then I remember like when Katie was gonna like walk on camera, he's like, "Katie, no, you can't be on camera. Put some clothes." This was so great. Like
he got Twitch. He got Twitch to ban Impact Wrestling for having basically a softcore porn scene on Impact.
Oh, it's so great. Anyhow, though, let's get back to this. Like I said, this was a great match. Eventually, Kenny Omega defeated Witch Swan with a 1-win Angel, which makes sense because you're not gonna have like the invading
winged Angel.
Yeah, well, except Phoenix.
Kenny Omega that kicks out of his own footer.
But technically,
That's
Phoenix
exactly what with him and Paige.
Technically, Phoenix did so.
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah, because I think he screwed up.
Why did they do that?
No, he didn't.
No,
they didn't do it. He was supposed to, I don't think he wasn't supposed to kick out, but he kicked out anyways. Yeah, that was a big time botch. No, but this was.
Was it a botch? Was it a botch, or did Ray Phoenix be like, "I'm gonna go into business for myself"?
Maybe both. But this was a great match. It was a great combination to.
Why did you kick out of my fucking finish, asshole? No, I bet no speak English, brother.
Yep. Yeah, so that was the end of that. I'll go over my star ratings for the show. I gave Brian Myers versus Josh Alexander 3 stars. I gave Decay versus Tino Dashwood and Caleb with a K 2 3/4 stars. I gave Violent by Design, the Old School Rules match, 3 1/4. I gave the same for the Women's Tag Team Tournament Finals. I gave the X Division 4 stars, 3 3/4 for the women's match, 1 star for the Karate Man and Ethan Page match, 4.5 stars for the Barbed Wire Massacre match, and 4 3/4 stars for the main event. So I thought this was a pretty damn great show. The only thing I have a problem with was the Karate Man, Josh Alexander, and the Matt Cardona thing, which I forgot to give. That match probably gets like 3 stars. So I'm gonna give this show a B+. It would have been like an A- had those 2 things not happened. Especially the Josh Alexander Karate Man thing hadn't happened. Then it would have been A-.
On the show either.
Huh?
I noticed that Josh wasn't on the show either.
He was on the Countdown show. Oh, you mean Josh Matthews?
Josh Alexander.
He was on the Countdown.
Was he on the Countdown?
Yeah, he was on the Countdown show.
As Karate Man, right?
No, Ethan Page fought Karate Man. Karate Man was Ethan Page. He played himself.
Yeah, but Karate Man showed up on Countdown, right? Not Ethan Page. I know they're the same person, but I'm talking gimmick here.
Karate Man did not show up on the Countdown show. Josh Alexander.
That makes no sense if he if Karate Man ripped Josh Alexander's heart out, then it should be Karate Man who survived, not Ethan Page.
Karate Man ripped Ethan Page's heart out.
Yeah, so it should be Karate Man showing up on the countdown, not Ethan Page. Because Ethan Page died at the hands of the Karate Man.
Well, technically the countdown show happened first, so so.
Oh. Well, yeah. About this week on Impact.
Josh Alexander was on him. Josh Alexander was on Impact. Yes.
Man.
Ethan Page plays Karate Man and himself. Josh Alexander plays nobody. I think that's what the confusion is here. Josh Alexander.
Oops. See, I knew this was gonna happen. I've been out of it all day.
I think maybe it was a good idea you did take a break, but
yeah.
Oh well.
My brain is dropped. That's what it is. But it's okay.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty damn great show. So now we're gonna talk about Impact from this week. Here we go. All right, now on to Impact. Yeah, this was a fantastic show. Why don't we just talk about like the most exciting thing on the show and talk about the Good Brothers. So the Good Brothers came out and, well, first, because it has to do with it, basically Don Callis announced that Kenny Omega is not going to be on. He's going to make the audience wait, pull back the curtain a little bit, which I don't have a problem with because we got something even better.
We did not expect. We thought, well, that ends the partnership already.
Yo.
And nope. Nope.
So, the Good Brothers came out and were bragging about their victory. And Chris Sabin comes out and talks about how the Motor City Machine Guns never got pinned to lose the tag team titles. So technically, they're the tag team champions. So they want their match, but the Good Brothers are like, well, your part of Alex Shelley's on the show, or not here right now, not working, so that can't happen. So Chris Sabin says he found a replacement, and it's James Storm, which I think is kind of cool. You could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but this was kind of a cool way to tie up that, because didn't Alex Shelley fill in for Bobby Roode when James Storm needed a replacement? So this was kind of a way to.
This was kind of like and those two feuded for like the Young Bucks and the Motor City Machine Guns were like all a part of that 2010 tag team division.
Yep.
Or we're all part of that tag team division scene.
Yep. And James Storm came out and talked about his gimmick and stuff. It just feels so good to see James Storm back at Impact. I didn't mind him in NWA, but I don't know, it just feels weird to see James Storm anywhere that's not Impact. It just feels right to see him at Impact.
I'm so glad he didn't go to WWE.
Yeah.
That I'm so fucking happy he didn't go there, because holy shit, that would have been a disaster. And that's sad.
Yep.
It's fucking embarrassing. If you're the company, but
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I think that's one thing I gotta get used to. I think there's a delay, which has caused us to talk over each other.
Damn it.
But whatever.
Okay.
They talk about how they want a world tag team title match.
They do talk indeed. I marked out when I saw Storm.
Yeah, same.
Then as we're talking, fucking Matt Hardy's AEW music plays.
Yep.
Him and Private Party show up, and I'm like,
yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Oh, it made so.
Then.
I thought it was so great because it made. If anyone else was gonna come over from AEW, Matt Hardy made the most sense because he even said it he's the one that saved Impact from bankruptcy. If it wasn't for his broken gimmick catching on, Impact probably would have gone bankrupt or gotten bought out by, he doesn't say it, but bought out by WWE. And I like how he talked I like how he talked about how him and his brother never lost the tag team titles because they got stripped of them when they went doing their Expedition of Gold. And he wants Private Party to have a rematch, and he basically does the whole thing where he's making fun of WWE for taking away third-party content. He's basically going to do the same thing for Private Party.
That little jab.
Yep.
Hey, WWE, fuck you.
It leads to a number one contenders match. It's going to be James Storm and Chris Sabin versus Private Party. We'll just talk about it all now. But before that, we had like one of those ads that Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan have been making for Impact. And this time it was very different because this time you see Tony Schiavone just there and you're like, oh, okay, that's weird. But then you see like Tony Khan and he's clearly somewhere else. And it's also Jerry Lynn, which was kind of cool because Jerry Lynn was kind of like one of the.
That was really cool to see Jerry Lynn. I was so confused on why he was there. I'm like, why is he not saying anything?
Yo. And Jerry Lynn, but wasn't Jerry Lynn like? Wasn't Jerry Lynn like the first? Like he was there like when TNA originally like first started, right? When they were doing like the weekly pay-per-view.
Yes.
So that was.
Yep. He absolutely was.
So basically, they kind of just advertised Dynamite, and eventually Tony Khan says, "I might get," and they talk about like the main event, and they say, "I might get a little bit of a closer look on the main event tonight," and we find out he's in the Impact Zone, or not the Impact Zone.
That was so freaking awesome to see.
Yo. And he said he's gonna
shit. All the things I was not expecting. Ooh, baby, a triple surprise.
Yep. So yeah, then we had the main event match. It was pretty damn great. Just go watch it. Private Party looked so good in this match. Like they, honestly, like Storm and Sabin were like flustered because they didn't really have any way to prepare for these guys and stuff. So I thought that was really damn cool. And Tony Khan and Jerry Lynn were actually out there. And he actually was like watching the match. He was taking notes on what he was liking and stuff. So I thought that was pretty damn cool. And
yes.
Jerry Lynn interferes in the match, and it causes Private Party to win with the gin and juice. And yeah, it was pretty damn cool. And now it's crazy. Private Party are now the number one contenders to the Impact World Tag Team titles.
And it's great.
And now that match is going to go down at, I think, No Surrender it's called now, or whatever the next exclusive event is. They did announce it officially. So, honestly, I don't know what's going to happen there. Like, there's a very good chance they could end up putting the Impact World Tag Team titles on Private Party.
Which I don't know how I'd feel about that right away because they're gonna do it. I think next week, right? Or they? Oh no, that's the pay-per-view. They said
the exclusive event, yeah. So it wouldn't be.
So there's the elite four-way or with all four guys.
Yeah, that could be.
That's gonna be a crazy visual with them having like a shit ton of gold.
Yup. But yeah, this was a great episode.
I would say that image with the elite, like the Kenny Omega's version of the elite with like a bunch of titles is nuts. So love that image.
Yeah, but this was great. And I guess we got to talk about it because this is where our AEW the heels in this scenario because Impact hasn't really buried AEW. Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne would talk about how epic it was that the AEW World Champion's been there. On this show, they were clearly kind of the heels because D'Lo Brown and Matt Striker have been putting over AEW, and they were they've been.
Here's the thing, right? So there's only one way you could tell this story, and that is there was no heels and there was no baby faces. There can't be. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
There are people that are heels that could be for the opposition. And you can weave that into the storyline if it makes sense. But for the most part, if you're talking company versus the company, there are no heels and baby faces here.
I mean, in all fairness, like you talked about before too, it was the heel Omega and Don Callis that started it. So
there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, other things. Honestly, though, no matter what a great Impact, I think that's really made the grade for me. Like I was on once Private Party came out, everything like I was on cloud 9. Like,
think about it's pretty good except for like one part too.
Yeah.
Like, it was the fucking stupid way they wrote Taya Valkyrie off. Although, in a way, it kind of is gonna make sense if
she doesn't go to. Yeah. We'll run through that now. So, Add Hard to Kill, Ace Rivera, no, Ace Romero, not Ace Rivera, that's somebody else.
Dude, him as the fucking detective was weird.
Yeah. He went into the Knockouts locker room, and he told Tommy Dreamer he found something that... like some cologne that sprayed Larry D that turned him into Lawrence D, which caused him to shoot Johnny Bravo. And we didn't find out who it was because we had to see. We had to wait until Impact. And, yeah, we found out that it was Taya Valkyrie. Taya Valkyrie sprayed him with cologne and caused him to turn into Lawrence Taylor, so she got arrested. And then...
oh my God.
Following this,
they didn't make that joke.
Larry D was like, well, what happens? Not Larry D.
You know the whole Lawrence Taylor thing is, right?
Yeah.
So that's literally exactly how they did it.
The football
Lawrence
players.
Taylor for attempted murder.
I see. But yeah, Ace Romero asked what's going to happen to her now, and Tommy Dreamer was just like, well, she could go to Jacksonville and become crazy. She could go to Stamford, Connecticut, or she could go, I think, somewhere else, or to Baltimore. So I think that's where
of Honor is.
Yep. And then Rosemary confronts her and said she was looking out. She was just looking out for her because she didn't want her to marry Johnny Bravo. And then she leaves and gets arrested, and she looks at Crazy Steve and says, "This is why we don't have any friends." And this is the way I liked it. It was pretty damn.
Sorry, go by sweatshirt.
Yeah, it was pretty damn trash. How does it? By the way, this doesn't clear really Larry D still, because he's still the one that pulled the trigger at the end of the day. Like,
Larry D.
Huh?
Who's Larry D?
Lawrence D. I'm sorry. He's the one that pulled the trigger. He still shot somebody. Like, you can't. That doesn't clear his name. So.
No. He's still committed or tried to.
Yeah. This was terrible. I really hope you're right and that she actually isn't leaving, because that's a pretty shitty way to write her off.
I think they're doing it now. So think about it like this, right? They're saying it was Taya.
Yep.
She probably did, but who's to say that cologne was actually her cologne?
I see.
What if she didn't actually have the person killed, and it was something that the Sinister Minister and the lawyer Sue Young character did and planted evidence, quote unquote, on her, and it turns out it was a bunch of bullshit.
Why would she admit it then? Because she admitted she did it.
She admitted she sprayed the shit. I don't think she never admitted that she was trying to have Johnny Bravo dead.
I see.
So that could be a way they can cover that up.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's how they're going to do it, because, like, it makes no other sense. Like, if you're going to tell the story, it has to be that Sue Young framed Taya.
Yep.
So I think that's how they're going to go about it. Because why would you say, we're going to go to court about this, and then they actually go to the court?
Yeah.
And then something got done magically.
Taya got arrested.
Other things that happened on the show is this was so good. So Rich Swann was being interviewed about what happened with the main event, and he thanked Moose for not turning on him, and Moose threw him into the thing and basically said the match is over now. We're enemies again, which was great. And Rich Swann wanted to fight Moose for the championship, but Moose warned him not to make him angry. But Rich Swann's like, too late, I'm already angry. So they had brawled with each other, and Rich Swann laid him out. I like the way Rich Swann laid him out. It was pretty damn believable, where he just outquicked him and outsmarted Moose, so I thought that was pretty damn cool. And I'm pretty excited to see Moose and Rich Swann. I think that's going to be a pretty damn great match. I could see something maybe like, where maybe Kenny Omega comes back when the match happens and it leads to a non-finish, and maybe they do a triple threat match, or Rich Swann would just win and it'll be Kenny Omega versus Rich Swann for the both championships.
Imagine like 4 belts.
I know, yeah. He'd have the TNA, the Impact, the AAA, and the AEW World Championship. So
look at the gold.
He'd be the new belt collector.
Gold.
He'd be the new belt collector. So.
Well, I mean, he's gonna get through Kota Ibushi too, if he really wants to be a collector. Just saying.
And if WWE wants a part of this, he's got to get through Finn Balor, and he's got to get through.
Yeah, fat chest.
Yeah. Matt Cardona too, and Ace Austin had interviews on this show. No, not Ace Austin. Was it Ace Austin?
It was Ace Austin that had the interview, and then it was Josh Alexander that had enough of Ace Austin shit. And then him and Fulton both jump him, and then Matt Cardona came for the save, and
now it's gonna be now it's turned into a tag team match for next week, so I'm excited about that.
Sign Ethan fucking Page to a better contract. And have these guys team up on opposite ends. Have fucking Matt Cardona turn on Josh Alexander, and then have Ethan Page save the day, and then have that as the match. It's so good. The story writes itself. It's cool. It's a different way to build the fucking feud. Wouldn't hurt to have more tag teams. Especially on the Impact side. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Eric Young defeated Rhino. Afterwards, they Violent by Design attacked Rhino and Cousin Jake, and Eric Young...
They hit him with their new finish, the Violent by Design.
Eric Young Eric Young smashed his leg with a chair.
Group members of Violent by Design.
Absolutely.
Lots of violent.
Yup. What designed you to be violent?
I don't know, man. Eric Young got in my head, and now I want to break shit. That Limp Bizkit too much.
Yep. Eric Young though traps Rhino's leg in a chair and smashes him like 3 times with it, and that was it.
This is the one criticism I will make of Matt Stryker. Can we not use the term Pillmanize on commentary?
Yeah.
It's such an insider term that no one's going to know what the fuck Pillmanize means if you're a casual viewer. Like, I get it. Most hardcores are watching this, and there's not really many casuals, but pretend like you're talking to a general public. Don't fucking say, "You're not Pillmanizing."
I don't even know what that means.
You remember how Brian Pillman got, quote, injured by Austin?
Yep.
Which led to Gun Angle? Yeah, that's Pillmanize.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's stupid.
I think this is getting a bit repetitive. We're seeing Violent, it seems like it's getting to be like rinse and repeat. Like, they'll have a match and then Violent by Design will attack the faces and stand tall. We need to see something new.
Well, actually, this was something new. They copied Mark Henry's Hall of Fame gimmick.
Yeah, but I thought like we needed. I feel like this was the time to bring Heath Slater back.
Gimmicks Pillmanize people. That's
I
supposed
think
to read too much into it.
I think this was the time to bring back Heath Slater and make the save. Because, like, you know, there was...
yeah. Where the fuck's Heath been?
Kayfabe got taken out by these guys, so he should have come out and made the save here. So, especially since his partner was about to get destroyed. So,
I don't know.
we have to wait and see.
I guess that oh yeah, Durr.
Yeah.
Well,
Then we had this,
I haven't been watching back since Omega came back. Could you tell?
Yeah. Then we had like a segment with a bunch of... Well, first we'll talk... Jordan Grace and Jazz lost to Susan and Kimberly in a pretty damn good match. I didn't have any issues with that. That was pretty damn good. No issues. Nothing at all.
Although I feel like ODB would be a better fit for Jazz as a tag team partner in the future. Just saying.
Maybe she is coming back. So...
yeah. I would turn her heel and team her up with ODB.
Yeah.
Bad Bitches Club. Beat down motherfuckers. Beat them down.
Jazz did have a weird look on it. Jazz did have like a weird look on her face when they lost, so maybe that's where it's going. No, you talk about Ted and Jordan. Huh?
This is no disrespect to Jordan. But whenever she's bewildered or upset, why does she look like the face of when someone takes a shit?
Yeah.
Is that the one face you can make? You fucking serious? I thought Otis had a fucking... I got a shit face. Jesus Christ.
You used to hate Otis, Jordan, too.
Money.
You used to hate Jordan. You used to hate Otis, too. Remember?
Love my boy.
Too bad you can never watch Otis. Too bad you can't see Otis for a while.
Yeah. Not until he fucking leaves. That's cool.
We had some bad segments. We had something really bad on this show though. The Tasha Steelz and Kara Hogan were backstage trying to get like people to come to the celebration for like certain packages and stuff like that. Johnny Swinner wanted a part of the deal, and can we just get rid of Johnny Swinner?
Kill him off.
Yeah.
Why wasn't he that got shot in the mystery angle, dude?
I know, yeah.
Fucking character. It's so ass.
What's the gimmick?
It's so ass.
So the gimmick is that does he think he's like trapped in the 80s, or is it just that he refuses?
He sucks at acting. I know that. One of the worst actors I've ever seen.
Do you want him to come over your house and pretend to be Johnny Swinner?
No. He's not a fun person.
Then they try to get Alicia Edwards. Fowler Bar is upset because he was owed money.
What the fuck? It's like, and the worst part is they have two of the same gimmick. One person does it better, clearly.
Yeah.
Brian Myers.
Yeah.
Why is Stinger still here?
Yeah. Can we just get...
Please get him.
Yeah, and then Brian Myers comes up the elevator and said, that he thought he was on a professional floor, but he wasn't, and it leads to a match later. And Brian Myers won in a match I didn't even care about at all. This match sucked the life out of the show, I thought.
Honestly, I didn't mind it.
To me, it just sucked the life out of it.
Anything better than Johnny goddamn Swinger, okay? I'll take this match. I'll take 1,000 of these matches over fucking Johnny Swinger ever appearing on my television ever again.
Hey, I might have him on. Maybe I'll try to have him on the show someday as that gimmick.
I'm sure he's a lovely human being, but that gimmick has got to go, blood. Well, it's got to go.
Guess what, though? He won't even know how to get... He can't even use Discord because in his head, that doesn't exist. So... Backstage, though, Eddie Edwards was being assisted to about his injuries in the barbed wire match, and Brian Myers, who was thumbed in the eye in the Fowler Bar match, thought his injury was more important. So Eddie Edwards says he's going to show him what a real professional wrestler is like next week, which is this week. That could be a good match, Eddie Edwards, Brian Myers. I want to see that.
I'm looking forward.
Yeah,
very much looking forward.
And then,
although I gotta say, now that the fucking feud between him and Brian and fucking Sammy Callahan is over, can he please drop the cosplay Tommy Dreamer attire, please?
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm sorry. It worked for the gimmick. I let it go on. The feud probably lasted too long, but I understood why. It was a lot of shit they couldn't control. But now it's over. Please get him back in the fucking tights.
Yep.
It's so awful. It doesn't work any other way unless he's feuding with Callahan. Please. Please go back to the Wolves trunks. Or at least make tights that have your like Eddie Edwards Shamrock thing and just go back to that era of Eddie Edwards, please.
Yes. Yeah, I like that era of Eddie Edwards better.
You know what's weird? His song, right, is so not fitting with the gimmick either.
No.
Like, I don't get it. It's just like, this would have fit as a singles Eddie Edwards thing.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I like the song, though. I actually listened to it quite a bit. So.
But just get rid of the fucking shit.
I do gotta ask you though. Do you like him in this attire better, or Cassius Ohno in the WWE attire? What he was doing in the past?
I'll take Eddie Edwards any day. Come on.
You really
like Eddie Edwards? Eddie Edwards didn't look fat. It just the attire made sense for the gimmick, and it wasn't like he was overstepping boundaries. He just looked like Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah.
With dreadlocks. It was just a really weird look, and I didn't like it, but I understood it for the story. Yeah. Somehow he's just fat.
Yes.
I didn't give a fuck.
Well, maybe he looks better now, though. I haven't seen him in a while. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what he did. He pulled a Chris Harris. In between last we saw him on NXT UK and when he got released, I'm sure he did a lot of this thing called eating.
You don't know that. You follow him on social media? You see what he's doing?
I'm a fat kid. I know a fat boy when I see one. And Cassius Ohno is a motherfucking fat boy.
And then that was pretty much Impact. I thought it was a pretty damn fantastic show. It got me excited to watch Dynamite. I gave it like an A-. It was pretty damn fantastic.
A-.
Johnny
all
Steele,
day. This show.
The only thing... Oh, we also found out that we're going to get TJ Perkins versus WYW. Scott D'Amore made the man. I even love Scott. Like, he left, he was happy about it because WYW thought it was for the title. And Scott D'Amore was like, shouldn't I tell him it's not for the title? And TJ Perkins was like, nah, he'll figure it out. I thought that was great. Like, Scott D'Amore's just not going to do it now.
One thing I recommend, okay. So you have this partnership with AEW.
Yes.
Can we get like a faction for Chaos Project? It's like Serpentico, yes. Another guy named I butcher his name. He's really good though. People know who I'm talking about. People were comparing him to Serpentico. He's really good though. And then have Manic and Suicide in the group.
So Suicide's played by Caleb Conley now, right?
Huh?
Suicide's played by Caleb Conley now, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, sure. Didn't know that. He's really good. He's really, really good. Maybe you should just stick with the Suicide gimmick.
All right, so now let's move on to Dynamite. All right, now moving on to Dynamite, which I forgot to take notes for because I'm still being used to being... Huh?
Dynamite.
What did I say?
Yeah.
What did I say?
No, you said Dynamite. I'm just saying Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. It was still a good show. I like a lot of people. Like, I still liked it.
I'll give my opinion. I will say they definitely had the best opening they've ever done. Yep. It was just unfortunately they could not capitalize after that, and they booked some bad stuff.
Let's start talking about. Yeah, let's start talking about it. Yeah, it was Brody Lee Jr. or Negative One's birthday. I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. You know, you can't trash this too much because it's, they're doing the right thing, like, by giving back to, like, the Brody Lee's family and stuff. So you can't trash this.
Yeah. And it's his first it's his first birthday without his father being there. So
yeah,
this is a really interesting thing. So but can we talk about something? So this was actually a fucking great opening. It was the best match of the whole show. I want to get that right off the bat right now.
Yes.
In my opinion, it was the best match of the entire show. Nothing even came close to this opener. The team that the Dark Order did was great. Apparently Luther improved because first off, I noticed he lost a lot of weight, and second, he knows his strengths.
Yep.
Since the last time we saw him on the show. And here's another thing too. Luther is actually a good promo.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that.
Yep.
I really didn't expect that. It was weird because like if you were to see if they did a promo before he had the match with Jericho, like that's a super strength of his. Like he actually did a really good promo. It was funny. I was entertained because he cut a promo on a little kid.
Yep.
And you knew who was going to get the comeuppance. It was going to be Luther.
And he did. I really enjoyed the match. Heyman, Adam Page, the Dark Order won. It was Heyman, Adam Page, Alex Reynolds, John Silver, and Cole Cabana. And then they asked Heyman, Adam Page if he was going to join. Well, first, Luther went into the cake, and they did that type of stuff. I even love. And then they asked Heyman, Adam Page if he was going to join the Dark Order, and Heyman, Adam Page said no, and like as if they even like John. I forget which one's which. Which one's the one that's like small? Like it's John Alex John Silver. So John Silver. John Silver like gets down and acts like he's proposing to Heyman, Adam Page, and then he says no, and like confetti, everything like that like pops up. He says yes, like they're all happy about it, like they were expecting him to say yes.
Who heard exactly what he said, and he was saying everybody back like no, go back. He didn't say it. So good.
And Heyman, Adam Page was even like, I've been a part of groups before and it didn't go well for me, and I just can't do this. And he even walks away and grabs the bottle like on.
Such good storytelling. Like it made you feel every emotion, including sadness right at the end. I argue this should have closed the show.
Yeah.
Should have been the closer, not the opener. This would have been a great way to close out the show. Leaves you in suspense for next week and the week after. Like you want to see where this goes.
Yeah. Dark Order are clearly face. Dark Order are clearly face now. They have to be face. They can't be heels now. Like.
Yeah, it was such a good.
Yeah.
It was a very, very good episode. It was a very episode opener.
Yeah.
And then we started going downhill soon. I don't think we did it right away. What was the next thing?
I don't know. I didn't. I remember I'll tell you another thing I remembered. Private Party and Matt Hardy versus Top Flight and Matt Sydal. That was pretty good.
I say there was one big botch, which was, I believe, done by Deontay.
Yeah. I
believe Darius Martin.
Yeah.
Tried to do, I think, a double. I think he tried to do a shooting star springboard moonsault thing, but he didn't get the trajectory correct.
Yeah.
I think what happened was what was it? They were operating in like very cold weather, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta cut them a little bit,
I like the finish though, where Private Party cheated to win, and now they're officially heel. I
didn't see that coming. I was like, yay! These guys probably could use it.
I like them as heels. I think Private Party's getting better.
I thought it made more sense.
Huh?
I thought it made more sense them as heels.
And then I remember what was next. It was the throughout the show they did more storytelling with the Elite. And the Young Bucks, they were supposed to do like an elite meeting, and the Young Bucks went to Don Callis, well, Kenny Omega's house, but Don Callis happened to be there. And they have this painting, by the way. I thought that was pretty damn funny, with like Kenny Omega and Don Callis like together, like in muscle suits.
That was so. Yeah, I like that. That. That was really.
And it was like
funny.
really bad. And then
open the show though. That whole thing.
Yeah.
I think that should have opened the show. I think the formatting all screwed up here, in my opinion, as well.
Don Callis is asking like is trying to hash things out, and Kenny Omega's not there. So he sends like the Alex Marvez and like the camera guy to the dungeon to get beat up pretty much. But
Marvez was fine for the next segment too.
Well, it was it was filmed earlier in the day though, so
he might have recovered.
Yes.
And then he got beat up in the locker room.
And then the cameraman leaves it.
It's just that anywhere he goes to try to get an interview exclusive, he'll just get beat up.
Yes.
I like the gimmick. I think he should keep rolling with it because that's funny.
Yep.
Like, what did that start? The Bucks and shit?
What?
What did that start with the Young Bucks and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so keep that track.
Yeah. And then Don Callis was like trying to talk him into it, and talked about like how Kenny Omega still likes them and stuff, but is moving on to kind of bigger and better things, and he's just kind of putting down the Young Bucks. And he offers to write them a check, one for the T-shirt, just a regular old check. And I even love they threw in the little jab in there where they talk about how because with Impact, where Impact.
I think they're accepting the checks and they wrote new ones.
Yep.
Turning heel.
Same. But the Young Bucks, rip up the checks knowing that like Impact's money's no good, which is a reference because everyone would say like.
I love that they don't forget history like that. Kayfabe or backstage, which can work for kayfabe in some instances. This is one of those moments. I love that little touch. Great stuff.
And then they beat him up. They beat the crap out of him. We don't actually see what they do to him because the camera like gets all dark and stuff. But
Kim, but we'll see it by design. By design.
Violent by design. There we go.
Manipulator. Alice, the Invisible Man. Is he like the map from like Super Smash Brothers, but he's invisible?
Could be. I think they made a joke about. I think they made a joke about it recently.
Does that make Crazy Man Vince Russo?
No. Fuck him.
Sorry, I had to make that joke. That was my only Smash Brothers thing I would ever relate to wrestling, and I was able to actually make it work. So I'm proud of it.
So Kenny Omega shows up to the arena. He's got like brand new clothes now and stuff, and he sees that Don Callis has been beat up, so he's upset about it. And he found out it was like Don Callis is trying not to say anything about it, but he has his hand. No, it's actually Alex Marvez that comes in and like rats out the Young Bucks. I even love how like poor Alex Marvez, man, he does not get treated. He does not get treated well at all. Like he just
respect it all.
Yeah. So later on in the show, Kenny Omega, Gallows, and Anderson beat up Pentagon Jr., I think, right? They beat up Pentagon. And I don't know where Pac and Ray Phoenix was. Maybe they were at Cato and didn't know this was happening. It's a good chance of that. So.
Who knows, honestly.
Yeah. I enjoyed this, and we found out later in the show it's going to be Jon Moxley and the Lucha Bros versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. I don't mind the announcement.
A phenomenal match.
I don't mind the announcement, but it happened so weird. It was like during the main event while it was going on. Like I would have preferred if they waited till. Well, I was gonna say I would have preferred if they waited till afterwards, but they wouldn't have had time because right after the main event it went off the air. So, I would have just made the announcement next week, honestly. After the beatdown, they should have made the announcement.
Yeah, we'll get to that because there was a reason Can we talk about the shit one real quick? Because I have something to say.
Is this Cody Rhodes versus Peter Avalon?
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
Cody, I like you. Number one, I'm saying this because I care. Please ditch the Snoop Dogg remix of your song. It's awesome.
I was fine with it for one. I was fine with it for 1 week, and then, but it's because Snoop Dogg was actually on that week. I think he needs to ditch it after. It might not be a him thing. It might be like TNT wants him to have it, or like maybe Snoop wants him to have it since he's going to be on that show.
Better than motherfucker, because that's an awful beat choice, and it completely throws the song off. Yeah. And I like my downstate lyrics.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have Dog in the song, at least keep my downstate lyrics, you fuck.
Yeah.
Such a bad I could do a better job.
You've proven that you could too.
And and that's not me talking out of my ass either. I've actually done better job.
Yep.
So, yeah, this was a bad remix. Now that's number one. Number two, I understood when he had a 50-50 match with Matt Sydal. I can see that. Yeah. I can see certain instances where Cody has a 50-50 matches with people, and it makes sense. Okay? This is not one of them.
No.
Okay? This match did no favors to either guy nor the company. This was a tragic idea that should have been left out the front door. This did not need to be a 50-50 affair. Peter Avalon is like nowhere near the level of a Brandon Cutler, which has already been proven, who probably would have had a better match with Cody, to be honest. I would have put Brandon Cutler in his fucking spot.
Please. I love Brandon.
Seriously.
Actually, I love Brandon Cutler, actually.
I really do too. I'm not even ribbing. I would actually love to see him on Dynamite again in a singles capacity.
Yeah.
Still, point stance. Would have picked Brandon Cutler. Would have been way fucking better. I would have picked fucking Zach. What's his face? Zach Clayton over fucking Peter Avalon. I'm not even joking. I would have picked him.
Sean Dean,
Lee Johnson. Literally anybody from Dark, except Peter Avalon. So, I'm going to explain what they did, and then I'll explain how they should have done this.
Sure. A little bit of a welcome to fantasy booking.
Basically, yeah. Cody hit one crossroads because he said on social media this match is going to end under a minute. Which, by the way, is the first time Dynamite has produced false advertising.
Yep.
That's number two. Jane Cargill then comes out the minute he hits the crossroads, pretty much, after he stalls for a bit because I didn't cue the music in time. Jane Cargill stands there looking like an awkward duck.
So, explain something to me because I haven't, kept up because I'm not at that part when I'm on my free time and stuff. So they haven't explained the relationship between her and Shaq, is what I'm told, by the way. There's no explanation for that?
There is absolutely no explanation for that except for the fact that she has a working relationship, I think, with Shaq. And I don't know what kind of working relationship, but judging by that body tone, I'm wondering if there's a little side hustle that Shaq's got going on, if you know what I mean. So who knows? I doubt that, by the way. Don't cancel me, people. But so Jane comes out, then Peter Avalon low blows him, and then she leaves. And after that spot, for some ungodly reason, the match continued, and then Cody wins low.
Yeah,
after 15 minutes because Pretty Peter didn't want to get hit in the face with a slap.
Yo.
Let me tell you how this should have gone. Okay, if they really wanted to get Jane Cargill on this show, God forbid. Okay, this is how they should do it. Cody's distracted. They do exactly what they did. Peter Avalon hits a low blow. Then he hits his finish. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Doesn't hurt Cody, protects Cody, gives Avalon a win. He's a chicken shit heel that will brag about it on Dark and Dynamite for like the next few weeks. And you're in and out. I cannot believe that's not what they did here.
Yeah.
That was the outcome they could do here. Either that or they just have Cody beat him outright and then have Jane Cargill come out after. But that would have been a waste of everybody's time. If they did it the other way around, at least it would have made sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the right result happens. I couldn't believe, like, this is like wrestling 101 here.
Yeah, this was bad.
Like, this was just, there's no excuse for this. Cody, stop having this 50-50 garbage with everybody you're literally in contact with.
Yeah.
If they don't look like they can go, don't have a fucking match with them. It was bad enough you had it with fucking Warhorse and Joey fucking Janela. Now you're having it with fucking Peter Avalon?
Yo.
Well,
honestly, I think
on,
Peter Avalon's the worst one because at least Janela and
Well, Janela I'd never agreed with, and I never agreed with Warhorse. But for the same reasons, I don't agree with fucking Peter Avalon. And I'd argue that you're right. Those matches were way better than this.
Yep. Something I don't got an issue with, though, I know, moving on from it, because you might have an issue with the John Moxley one. I actually don't have an issue with that, because the guy actually looked like...
No. That's another problem I have with this. The sad part is, and this is the stupidest part of the whole thing, okay? I like Nick Camarado. This is a very good match. This is a great shining light for Nick Camarado. He really stood out here. So good on Nick. Moxley won,
Yeah.
typical. Although you probably could have done a run-in and then have Nick win here, which realistically I think they should have done anyway because it would have made sense with the whole Elite feud. Yeah. But personally, I think there was one too many matches on the show anyway. So if you couldn't do the Peter Avalon thing, maybe this is just a crazy idea, but maybe you have Cody versus Moxley on the show, which would have been a and you save time. Cody loses. He's disgruntled with himself. Arn Anderson's giving him shit. That builds that story. Probably still focused on the whole Jane Cargill Shaq debacle. Moxley cuts a promo on the Elite. And we're in and out. I don't know what got here. I'm not saying that Nick Camarado didn't look good here. I'm just saying in the grand scheme of things, it was very unnecessary. And it could have gotten a lot more accomplished with the Cody and Moxley match.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely... I agree with that. I just a lot of people were complaining that Nick Camarado was having a competitive match with Moxley, but if you look at the dude, I think it's pretty damn believable that he would have a
fucking face.
But I thought it was pretty damn believable because Nick Camarado, if you look at the dude, he looks legit and he looks like he could beat the crap out of Moxley.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
more sense than Peter versus Cody for sure.
Like, do you remember on 205 when, like, Akira Tozawa, like, squashed somebody and that wasn't believable? It was, because the guy was, like, bigger than him and had, like, some type of gimmick.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I do remember this, yes. They've been using Akira Tozawa like ass since he's been there, so.
Yeah. But, those were, like, things we liked, hated. Let's talk about the women's match, because the match was good. Thought the match was fine. Nothing really wrong with it. I just didn't really like.
You know what? I thought so too, and then it actually finally hit me.
So
they could have accomplished so much here in these last 3 weeks with the women, but they've done literally nothing with it.
As they normally do.
We're gonna go back to New Year's Smash Night 1. Hikaru Shida's match was with fucking Abaddon, which was an absolute abortion of a match. Then they followed that up with a really terrific match between Serena Deeb and Tay Conti.
Yep. Actually, thanks for
the way, can I take championship, which is basically just shows by default NWA Women's World Championship is more prestigious and more cared for than their own women's championship, which is a big no-no.
By the way,
and the next match was just a random Penelope Ford versus Layla Hirsch match.
Yep.
The match was fine, and it was a good television match. This should have been on Dark.
Yes.
Fight me. I think what they should have done instead was week 1 of New Year's Smash should have been Layla Hirsch versus Hikaru Shida.
Yes.
And they shouldn't have even built up Hikaru Shida. Or, I'm sorry, Abaddon. Sorry. So it should have been Layla Hirsch and Hikaru Shida. Then they should have stuck with the NWA Women's World Championship.
Yes.
Then they should have brought this week, in my opinion, Deonna Purrazzo to Impact and answer an open challenge from Penelope Ford.
Yes.
I don't know about you. That accomplishes a lot fucking more.
Absolutely.
Don't you think? It puts every women's champion that has appeared on Dynamite on a fucking equal playing field, retaining their and one having a nice match and beating the other person.
By the way, because you literally reminded me, like, it would have left more of an impact, no pun intended, because me and Chris actually forgot to talk about all the New Year's Smash, like all that stuff on the rundown last week, because I forgot about it. So.
Not that New Year's Smash was even bad. I'm just saying it could have been better for the women's side of things.
I guess I didn't really mind this match too much. It wasn't further in the women's storylines. It was further in the men's storylines. Like that's literally what it was.
And then they just randomly announced we have a women's title eliminator tournament, and then for some reason has a Japanese and American flag. Wait a second. Where does Layla Hirsch fit into this? She's Russian.
Yeah.
Tay Conti's Brazilian.
Yep.
Hello.
I bet you too. They're gonna do what they did with the women's tag and put it on like some type of YouTube show because they've proven that that's what they do, which is like a crime.
Well, actually, they might actually do this on TV.
I hope so this time.
And well, here's the thing. That women's fucking tag thing they did was in shambles, and Impact already proved they could do better.
Yep.
So you need to bring Impact in immediately. This is the one time where you need to just bring in Impact.
Yeah.
Straight out the gate. I don't know why they didn't, because like it would have made sense. Because then what you could have done is have the NWA and the Impact Knockouts title, and whoever the champion of both of those belts are in the tournament.
Yep.
And then whoever the two are have the belts. Every time the champion is in a bracket, belts on the line, whoever has both belts then goes on to fight Hikaru Shida, winner takes all. Triple threat. Maybe it's Tay Conti, Deonna Purrazzo, and Hikaru Shida. Or maybe Thunder Rosa gets the belt from Hikaru Shida out of fucking nowhere, and it's Thunder Rosa, Deonna Purrazzo, and Tay Conti. Okay, yeah, please. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I don't know why they didn't.
I didn't really mind though. Also, the stuff that went on with Miro and I like how he's Charles now. I like how they're calling him Charles now.
Charles Taylor, guy.
I wish they would have done the wedding like a different week, because like you can only literally do this for 2 weeks. Like you could literally do this for like a month. It'd be so entertaining. I think I'm not gonna blame them too much on this one though, because they were probably supposed to get like 3 weeks out of this, but then they had to do the Brody show. I just think maybe they should have just abandoned They should have scrapped this probably.
And I feel like I do have to cut Cody slack too, because I guarantee you the plan for Cody was a rematch with Brody.
Yep.
And that's off the table now, so he's probably lost. He probably doesn't even know what to do himself, to be honest.
Yeah, because he was on like the Britt Baker show last week for like no reason, pretty much. So it's like, yeah. So
he's probably just like, I'm figuring it out as best as I can, guys.
Yeah.
I got to slack a little bit.
I think it was just the main event like angle that we got to talk about, right? I don't remember.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah,
I want to say one more thing. I want to say one more thing though about the Charles thing.
Yeah, hold on. I'll help this along. Ready? Jericho botched Lion Salt. MJF and Jericho won the end.
I feel like I feel like Jericho should get buried for botching the Lion Salt because everyone makes a mistake. It's gonna happen. So.
So, I'm not as forgiving. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because if I'm gonna be consistent, I know when I have to be consistent, and there is no excuses anymore for Jericho. I've tried, but I think this year is gonna be his worst year, and it shows. Okay, number one, clearly he's not in ring shape. I'm not talking necessarily about the fact that he has a pouch, like whatever. That doesn't bother me so much, mainly because of his age. I can bypass that. Okay, he's had this pouch since he's debuted on Dynamite, okay?
Yeah, and he's had great matches.
And he had fucking terrific matches. Best match he probably ever had was the match he had with Cody. Yep. Phenomenal. Absolutely great. He's also had a really good match with Orange Cassidy. There are plenty of matches that he's had with that gut, okay? This ain't one of them. This has been a problem all throughout the beginning of this year. We're not even in December yet. We're in the end of January, and he's blowing up in matches. There's a reason why NBA was shitting all over him. Now, there's a good chance people probably would have shit on him anyway, or NBA, you know, because NBA is getting shit on by Dynamite when it comes to the ratings. Because, you know, if you know the story about how NBA people are childish, you'll understand. Hashtag fuck the NBA. Yeah. But I don't know if they would have as much if Jericho looked like he was in ring shape and was doing like a bunch of crazy shit like he was doing like even a year ago in 2020.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem here. This is the main problem. This guy has been struggling from the beginning of this year to the point now in this match, he's clearly not working on his cardio, and it shows. I gave the same shit to Cassius Ohno when he was having cardio issues. I'm going to do the same thing here with Jericho. He damn near necked himself on a Lion Salt. Okay, I understand people make mistakes. Jericho has never done that in the history of his career. And the only time where that would ever happen is if he has not worked on his cardio. That's like rule number one. And if he did work on his cardio, then that shows me that time has caught up with his ass, and he needs to hang up the boots, and he needs to hang up the boots this fucking year.
Yeah.
That may be harsh, but I'm only being harsh because, quite frankly, I don't want to see what happens to Jericho, a similar fate to what happened to Ryu Hayabusa, and he's crippled off of botching one of these Lion Salts. I don't want to see that.
Or like,
I don't think any.
We could talk about the Undertaker, where everyone was calling for him to retire too.
Exactly, but Taker wasn't doing freaking moonsaults either.
Yeah.
You know, Jericho does a Lion Salt. He does a moonsault from the second rope, dude.
Yeah.
So, like, something's got to give here. Either you retire the move and you just do other stuff, or you hang up the boots.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the year he just quits
the industry or retires and just goes behind and does a behind the desk role or something.
Yeah.
And
well, I wouldn't complain if he did the commentary booth because he's great at that. So.
To each their own, to be honest. I could take him or leave him some weeks. You already know my thoughts on that. But yeah, man, Jericho, like that was a scary moment, dude. Like Chris and I actually were on a call as that happened, and we cringed, like, oh God, I hope he's okay. Like, it wasn't a cringe of like embarrassment. It was a cringe for like I thought he was dead.
Yep.
He take another 4 weeks off, work on your cardio, and if it does not improve because of age or something, like he needs to stop the lion salt and then retire this year.
Yep.
Because if he can't get the lion salt anymore, I think this is where he needs to hang it up.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I'd say, like, work on your cardio. If it doesn't improve, have the retirement match you want with Lance Storm, because that's the match you want, and then hang it up.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. Like, they cannot do this again. Like, he cannot do assault like that again, because the next time he does and he doesn't get the speed going onto those ropes, he could legitimately neck himself and kill himself. I don't want to see that happen.
No, not me either.
Not to mention, I wasn't even the only botch he had in this match. He was like screwing up things left and right because I think he was trying to keep up with like Sammy, even Hager, by the way. Can we talk about how Hager was like an MVP of this whole thing? I don't know what got into Hager. I don't know what Hager's been eating his cereal.
Absolutely.
But I love him now. Like, this dude, I love him as like a hot tag for sure.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure. He's a great hot tag.
Well, maybe the good thing out of this, though, is like if MJF and Jericho are going to be the tag team, they can have like MJF kind of be in the match more, and Jericho can kind of be a hot tag guy. Just don't do the line salt. So maybe that would be the silver lining out of this. But that also can't last. That also can't last forever because he's the ratings draw. They're not gonna want. They can't keep him there forever. So.
And that's another thing too. Like, where does like Proud and Powerful go here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they obviously wanted them to win. I'm not so mad about that though, because what can Proud and Powerful actually do?
Yeah.
You literally have to turn them face first, because I don't see any other way that this is going to work with them. Because like, you're obviously going to need a babyface fiery tag team, which I think Proud and Powerful absolutely should be anyway, especially after the stuff we know about them now from the interviews with JR. And just everything we know about them personally now that they have now bled into kayfabe.
Yeah.
Like, what do you realistically do here, other than turn them face and split them off from the inner circle? Because they can't be heels. I would say team them up with Eddie Kingston's family, but like, there's a tag team already there.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It's just like, you could, because you have this deal with Impact now. Do something with them in Impact. Like, have them. Absolutely. If Private Party take the belts off, have Proud and Powerful go back to Impact and challenge for them or something. Then they're doing something.
They never got a rematch because they dropped the belts.
Or bring them to NWA too.
Yep.
Like, I don't know who the team champions over there are, but have them fight Proud and Powerful and then have Proud and Powerful win those belts. Be interesting. Like, at least you're having them do shit.
No, but the Inner Circle story is still fairly interesting. I am interested to see where they go with it, because I am wondering, like, what's going to happen is if it's going to lead to MJF kicking Jericho out of the group and he goes face, or they're going to do, like, the whole thing where they split the Inner Circle and, like, Jericho, Guevara, and, like, maybe Hager.
I'll say, even though Jericho got shit on, my God, does this work in favor for the story?
Yep.
I actually... Shout out New York Times for helping a pro wrestling storyline along. I don't even think they realized that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Jericho didn't give a fuck. Quite frankly, I didn't either. Like, yes, he
He was awful in that segment, and MJF was absolutely the better singer. There's no question about that. He won the New York Times.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe.
That was Dynamite. I think we covered everything, right? That's it. Nothing else on Dynamite, really.
Yeah, I will say the one thing I will say. I said this on the Indie Force, but I will say MJF. I will always be a fan of MJF, and I will always cheer for him now, because I can't help it. You know what I mean? Like, after what he did for Brody Lee Jr., dude, I cannot not cheer for the guy.
Yep. You talk about taking
that moment is just like,
yep.
He really is the salt of the earth, I think, behind the scenes. That he did not have to give him that moment. That was so cool of MJF to do.
Yeah.
So, I'm a cheer for the guy.
Absolutely.
My number one guy, man. You're my number one guy.
I'll give Dynamite though. It was still a good show with problems. So I'll give it like a B-. It's like an 80%, like a low B-.
I give this probably like a 70.
It's fine.
C-. This was not good, and I honestly, by Dynamite standards, this was awful.
Yeah.
Because it's the worst show they've ever done, in my opinion.
Probably, yeah, I would say so.
Because every other show up to this point has been either pretty good to fucking excellent, and this was like the first show where it was like a mixed bag, and that never happens with Dynamite. Again, I think that had to do with where the placement of the matches were as well.
Yes.
But, it's either here or move on, right?
Yep.
Hopefully they learn time.
Okay, so now we're going to do a thing real quick.
We're going to play a game. I'm going to read off a Fightful article, which I will leave in the description. These are confirmed contract expiration dates from WWE, AEW, and a bunch of other places, a bunch of other companies. And we will determine if they're going to stay, go, or swap ship. That's basically what we're going to determine. So, Owen, you're going to give one-word answers on where you think they're going to go. Ready?
Yep.
Or at least one sentence and make it short.
Yep.
Selena Vega. I mean, this is obvious.
Impact. I would say Impact.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd say AEW. I think it's all but confirmed she's going to AEW, no?
I just don't think I think AEW. I mean, they need the women's division, but like I just think AEW needs to use the women. They can get all the women they want. They just need to write the women better.
She'll be a mystery competitor.
Okay.
And then eliminated.
Yeah, that could happen. It's just that AEW needs to give the woman more time, anyways. That they have to use the woman that they have.
Yeah, that's fair. Ronda Rousey, hers is up on April 10th, 2021. I think she's gone. I genuinely think she, and I do think she'll actually show up in another wrestling company. I think AEW.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because everybody's thinking Ronda Rousey said that thing. It was kayfabe, morons.
Yeah, I think
it was fucking kayfabe. And she would have followed through with that kayfabe had WWE not got mad at her and Cain Velasquez for posting a photo at WWE PC because Vince is a petty man-child.
Yeah.
So she's gone.
If she goes to AEW too, that would be great for the women's division because then AEW will put a lot more focus on it.
And if you consider the fact as well, if they're signing Tessa, which they have already expressed interest in, there's your money. Ronda Rousey, Tessa Blanchard, yes, sign me the fuck up. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. So I say AEW.
Big Show. I actually think he is leaving. Spring of 2021 is when his contract expires. The reason why I think he's leaving the WWE, and I don't know if he'll necessarily jump ship. If it is to AEW. And the reason I say is because have you heard his shoot interviews recently where he absolutely trashes creative? Now think of it like this. Why do you think Big Show's been used to utter shit on the main roster as of late?
Yep.
It's the same with Hardy. It was the same with FTR. It was the same with Jon Moxley to a degree, or what they tried to do with him. Excuse me. Makes sense to me.
I'll say I'll say stay with WWE just because he's been there for so long and stuff. I just don't see him leaving.
I would have agreed with you if I had not heard those shoot interviews. To be honest, he trashes them. He absolutely trashes them. And plus, there's only one place he will ever have a match with Shaq now.
Yup.
AEW. So.
Oh, that could be yeah.
Just a little food for thought. That's all. Mojo Rawley, who cares? He's probably staying with WWE.
Stay in WWE, but who cares?
Yeah. Daniel Bryan. I think he's leaving. I actually do think he's leaving. September 2021, his contract's up. I think he's leaving, and I think he's going to AEW. I really do. And I say that because here's one reason why. Wasn't he writing for the Intercontinental title picture before Bruce Pritchard came back and say, no, fuck him, get rid of him?
Yup.
Yeah, he's leaving. Daniel Bryan don't take that shit. I'm sorry. There's no way he's gonna. He's already made enough money with that fucking company anyway, so I'm sure he wants to end his career with a lot more creative freedom, in my opinion.
I'm gonna say he's staying because they have given him like some creative freedom when it comes to like his storylines and stuff.
Fair. Sami Zayn, this is an absolute. I think he goes to AEW.
Yeah, because he can base. I mean, he's been great in WWE lately, but I think he's not able. He needs. But I say he.
Two words for you: Saudi Arabia.
Yep.
There, say no more.
But I'll say like he can't be El Generico again though. He needs to evolve his character because now we've seen him as.
He'll be whatever his actual name. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, Street Profits are staying in WWE. Come on.
Yep, staying in WWE.
Same with Shelton Benjamin. Same with Kalisto. Same with MVP. They might as well be lifers. Same with Hardy.
Yeah, if Jeff Hardy was gonna leave, he would have left after the last contract.
Yeah. Elias and Edge I'm curious about though. Their deals last through 2022. We're gonna start with Elias first, then we'll talk about Edge. I think Elias goes. I think he goes to NWA.
Yup.
Or New Japan. Somewhere where he skills.
I think NWA would be a better fit because it's like a crowd reaction based promotion, and he's very good at getting the crowd reactions.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think heavy. He was Heavy Metal Jesus. I think that would absolutely get over in NWA as a heel. Either that or he gets cheered beyond a shadow of a doubt. Him and Damian Sandow would not be a bad team either. Jesus' peoples.
Yeah. I'll keep saying this again though. If NWA is gonna survive though, they need to like really partner with. They're kind of there, but they're not quite there really with it because it's only really the woman we're really seeing in NWA. We need to really see more inclusion.
We'll get to that. He's on this list as well, Nick Aldis. We'll talk about that. He'll probably show up on the AEW at some point with the NWA belt. I would expect. Yep. Edge. This is curious one, and the reason I bring him up on why this would be questionable is because I really don't think he's been happy with WWE. Now, there is a good chance that he stays with the rest of this contract, and actually has a proper run once crowds are back in the arena.
Yep.
And he has at least a year and a half, and then we could see where it will go. So for now, I'm gonna say he stays with WWE, but there's a very strong possibility he could switch over to AEW after 2022 is over.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really blame WWE on this one that he's not happy because he also came back right before the pandemic hit, pretty much, and that really screwed everything up.
I'm gonna expect that for poor Edge.
Yeah,
and he's been injured, so his contract will probably be extended until 2023, unless they rush his dates, which is possible right now.
But especially considering the fact too, maybe I think I pointed this out. Maybe he probably doesn't, but maybe he'll hold some resentment for WWE because it's kind of a dumb thing that even led him to get an injury to begin with, where they did a retake of something that they didn't probably need to do a retake to, which is what causes injury.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think Edge is that kind of guy, though.
Yeah. Kevin Owens, I do think if Sami Zayn's going, he's going, and his contract is up in April of 2023. But I think he goes after his contract is up.
If Sami Zayn goes, definitely, because there was, I think, because AJ Styles, because Gallows and Anderson got released, has been very resentful towards WWE.
Yeah. And AJ's leaving as well, by the way. I don't think.
I think so. Yeah, especially with this.
He's going to go back to Impact too. I think if they're going to do an AEW partnership, that's the only place that makes sense.
Especially because of the third party thing, he's definitely going to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 110%.
And with this news, like that, everyone makes fun of him for like supposedly being a flat earther and everything. Like, I don't know what the story with that is, but that type of stuff too.
Well, yeah, I think that was just a joke that him and Brian said, though. Like, come on.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, Randy Orton kind of talked about it, like how he kind of would give him crap for being a flat earther one after the Bell podcast. So,
is he actually a flat earther?
I don't know. He says he's not. He said he would just say it as a joke, but everyone like took him seriously. So.
Oh, dude, I know how he feels, though. I would probably get sick of that too.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio, September of 2023. I'm gonna be controversial with this one. I say he does leave and goes to AEW, and Dominic's going with him because they used his son for leverage, and look at how they're using him right now. Not doing a fucking thing except that he had matches with Buddy Murphy, which were actually really good. I'm sure.
And now he's in like a lame ass feud with King Corbin, who can't get over it.
Oh, and it's with his father.
Yep.
I mean, for fuck's sake, if you're gonna team him up with his dad, at least have him go for the tag titles.
Absolutely.
Like, give me a break. Paige
leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know the story, but I hear like her and WWE are really at odds.
Yeah. No shit.
I don't know.
She's also extra defiant and not basically told WWE to fuck off, and WWE can't really do much because of the whole fighting with my family dog.
Yeah.
So
she's got
leverage. She's got major leverage. So.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, she stays. Riddle's leaving and Ricochet's leaving. AEW bound, absolutely. Ricochet may go to Impact and to New Japan.
Yeah.
But if AEW is going to have a partnership with those guys, basically AEW.
Which is what the good thing about like this partnership is like, you know, because everyone will complain like not everyone can go to AEW with Impact, they can be thrown on Impact.
Exactly. Here's another thing for you, and this is going to be, you are going to be very surprised that I even mentioned him. Jinder Mahal, I think he should leave. His contract is up through the summer of 2024. I think he leaves. I think he should leave, and I think he should either go to Impact or Dynamite. I think he would be much better utilized there, not to mention the fact he's actually very much improved.
Yep.
And I think they just completely fucked him over from the get-go.
If you remember, he cut like an amazing promo on Talking Smack, like right before he won the championship. Like it was an amazing promo. Actually, it was actually really good. Well, it was actually really good. You know what I mean?
That's why I'm saying Jinder would be. And by the way, his indie name before he showed up to WWE is Tiger Raj Singh, which sounds badass.
And I know they're not really a thing anymore, but he could do some things with Rohit Raju and kind of reignite that group they had kind of going on before the
Hit Squad.
Yeah,
I love that group. They were such a good man. I wish they never broke them up.
I didn't like the gimmick, but the group itself, like in the ring, was awesome.
So good. It was a crime they weren't used better, honestly, just because their ring didn't work.
Especially Rohit Raju.
Lana, yes to AEW to manage Miro. 100% happening. afternoon. I think she leaves earlier. They say November 2024. I think she leaves sooner than that.
Yep.
The New Day stay. They're lifers. Yep. Rose, same thing. Dana Brooke, I believe, also same thing.
Yep.
Randy Orton, yeah, come on. The Miz, come on.
He would have left.
Come on.
Even though Undertaker did talk some crap about WWE, but I think, you know.
Yeah. Dude, he's the Undertaker. Come on.
Yeah.
I will say, some of his takes are a bit whack. I will say.
I didn't hear all. I haven't seen the podcast yet, but.
Yeah, they were pretty whack. I know you're Mark for Taker, but you would even agree they were very, very whack. Specifically, his comment about how they only play video games now, insinuating that they're not real men.
Yo.
So. Bryce. So now we're on to AEW. Oh my fucking God, what's going on? You fucking pagan. Bryce Remsburg, he's staying.
Yep.
Chris Jericho staying.
Yep.
In some capacity. Lance Archer staying. Jim Ross staying.
Even though he has a lot of hot takes about AEW, I think he's staying.
Dude, he's good. JR is good because he doesn't bullshit, and they need a guy like that. You don't want everybody agreeing with everything you do all the time. Trust me, I should know.
Yeah.
So good thing JR's there. Joey Janela, FTR, the others staying. Absolutely. Tony Schiavone, Shanna, yes. Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega and Cody are on here, but they're like EVPs, so I don't know. Young Bucks, same thing. Like,
I can't believe Kenny Omega. I can't believe Kenny Omega because he technically wasn't there when the company started, but Cody being having a contract there is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, right.
Cody's going. Now, you know what, man? Cody's going to CCW, man. He's leaving to go to CZW.
Get the fuck out of here, you shit. Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. I can't wait to see Joe Zandig and Cody in a freaking barbed wire massacre match in CCW. Jesus!
Oh, I got one better for you. Cody's leaving. He's going to Top Rope Promotions.
Oh, yeah, totally. Actually, having Cold Steel Chuck O'Neil, though, I can actually see happening, though.
Yeah, but he's going to Top Rope Promotions. He's going to get, jobbed out every week. He's going to be a jobber on Top Rope Promotions.
I mean, actually, he had a 50-50 altercation with Peter Avalon, so maybe that might be possible. You never know. Okay, we're on New Japan now. There's only a few names on here, but one is very surprising. Chase Owens is staying, Will Ospreay is staying, and we'll go to AEW regardless if New Japan and AEW have that partnership.
Hopefully.
Here's one. And Juice Robinson, same thing. Here's one that's super interesting, though. So, I know you don't watch a lot of New Japan, right? But you know enough about it to know that Kota Ibushi is a god right now and has both belts, correct?
Yes.
His contract is up in February.
Yeah.
2021. There's only two reasons why his contract would be up. They're either going to have him keep both belts, and the goal is to have a winner-take-all scenario between him and Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Or he is going from New Japan to AEW to reignite a feud with Kenny Omega with nothing.
Yeah.
If the latter is the case, what the fuck was New Japan thinking giving them the belts?
Yeah.
They should have just kept him on Tetsuya Naito if that was the case. I think he stays with New Japan.
Yeah.
Regardless, that would just be stupid if they let him go, in my opinion, from a logic standpoint. Ray Horus. You know Ray Horus?
Yeah, he was like the 6-man tag champ a while ago and stuff.
He still is.
Yep.
He just had an awesome match, by the way, on Ring of Honor with Dragon Lee for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. Awesome shit. He goes, I think to AEW though. His contract is up in March of 2021.
Sure.
I hope he goes to AEW, dude. He would be such a great fit.
Yep.
Either that Impact for their X division.
Yep.
Either way, he'd be a great fit on either one of those.
He could just go to Impact anyways if he goes to AEW, so.
That's true. You're not wrong. Or he can go to Impact and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, Ian Riccaboni, he's staying. Come on.
Yeah.
Dan Naff, he's gone because of the speaking out movement. PCO, he stays.
Yep.
Or
like retires.
Yeah. I don't know who Flamitia is, but okay. Silas Young and Flip Gordon. Come on, he's staying. Okay. Impact Wrestling. I'm not going to read that because all these guys are going to be staying, I think, and they'd be stupid not to.
Especially considering that, it's like the whole roster pretty much. Especially, and like I said, most of them that go to AEW can just go there anyways.
Yeah. There's only a few names I'm going to read off the MLW section, Major League Wrestling. Brian Pillman's already on the show, so his contract expires in July 2021, so he's gone. And he wants his release, I guess, from MLW anyway.
Yep.
The Von Erichs, Ross and Marshall end in April of 2021. 100%, I believe, are going to AEW.
Yep.
Either AEW or Ring of Honor or NWA. But they're definitely not staying MLW.
The one question I have, because Chris was telling me about this, because MJF was still doing stuff with MLW and stuff. He was like in a group and stuff. Are they?
Yeah, he was in a group. They are on this list. So Richard Holiday is on this list from until May of 2022, and Alexander Hammerstone is there until May of 2022. But I don't see them going to AEW to team back up with MJF as Dynasty. I don't see that happening. As much as he thinks, I don't see it happening because MJF is like a league above both of those guys.
Yes.
So I don't see that happening. Not that I hate Richard Holiday or Alex Hammerstone, but I think they're bitter faces anyway. From what
you hate them, you want them to. I was gonna say you want them to die, but that's a bit harsh.
Wow, no.
I almost said actually die in their sleep. It's even well. At least it's better than dying. I don't know by.
That is. Well, I mean, Larry King can attest to that. God rest his soul. He had a very good. Filthy Tom Lawler, his expires on November 2021. He's AEW bound for sure. I would be shocked if he went anywhere else because he's friends with Brian Alvarez. Wrestling Observer Newsletter is basically friends with AEW, so I think he's going to AEW at this point.
Alicia, I know Alicia Toots on this list. I could see him doing stuff with AEW.
I would see her doing more stuff with Impact or NWA actually.
She can still do stuff with AEW.
I forgot. Hey, who knows, man? Maybe everybody will just start working together and everybody can do anything anywhere. Who knows?
Except WWE.
Except WWE. Hey, Okada, you get your wish. It's just WWE doesn't want to be a part of your super. Nick Aldis, there's only two names on NWA, and then the list is wrapped up. If Thunder Rosa is on here, and she's already on AEW, and will most likely stay with NWA, I say Nick Aldis follows suit.
Yes.
With the NWA title in tow.
Because I've been saying it for like every time I talk to somebody, we still need a Nick Aldis Cody match 3.
Yes. It'd be great on AEW.
I get to be an Iron Man match because I know they had like a 2 out of 3 fall.
Yep.
A match I actually really want to see too is just because the styles would be so different is him versus Kenny Omega.
That would be a match I would love to see. Him and Okada is also one I would love to see.
Yep.
Especially for the NWA belt as well. Could you imagine?
Yep.
Oh, could you imagine I don't care what show it's on, just Nick Aldis and Kazuchika Okada.
Yep.
in the same ring competing for an NWA title, sign me up. Those two present themselves as stars. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see that match. I know all this isn't in for like the whole strong style thing. I know he said, but like, I know he knows what good business is. That would be good business. Yeah, absolutely. Chin with Okada, especially if it was in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's everything.
Now let's end off the show. Cool. Okay, now we're gonna end off the show. Just so everyone knows, just so that way, like you won't get confused. The code word is if I like pause the video to write down the time. It's gonna be Operation Diet Do. So if you hear me say Operation Diet Do and like these videos and stuff, it's not because we're weird, even though we are weird. But that's not a reason we're weird. It's because it's a code word for James knows when I pause the recording. Or do you think it's because we're weird?
Both.
You know what?
I would say follow me on stuff.
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter. I might post something. I might not. Yeah. I'm on a long hiatus from social media shit.
Yes.
Especially when it comes to YouTube. I will make sporadic appearances like this every now and again.
He's coming back for fantasy booking. He's coming back for fantasy booking series. I'm gonna book our feud, our hatred for each other.
That's probably the only thing I'm coming back for. Yeah, God knows how long it's gonna take. I want to get vaccinated and then I'll go back to YouTube in full swing. Just because if I'm not vaccinated, I can't be asked at this point, and I want to reevaluate how I do YouTube.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're gonna yeah, let's talk. I'll plug my stuff though.
We'll say follow WYW even if there isn't much content because I do like plugging that.
Yes, this is great stuff.
It is good stuff. So go watch the if nothing else.
I'll plug my stuff. Subscribe to this channel. With the next fantasy booking series in the future with me and James's feud, because for some reason James decided to put me through a ladder because I didn't hold up my end. He decided to put me through a ladder because he thought that I was dead weight to him. Well,
I mean, you are pretty light in fairness.
Yeah, but you thought I was dead weight just because I kept losing the matches, and these are powerful guys, man. Where was your?
This is what happens, Owen, when you don't work on your cardio. Okay, I said that I had to do the same thing with the other guys. It had to happen to you too. It had to happen.
Yeah, but you didn't break up any of these pinfalls or anything like that. Where were you?
Taking a shit.
So maybe you should have pulled your weight too.
No, I just dumped my weight off in the pool. Dumped the coffees off the toilet. Oh wait, is that bad nowadays? Shit. I swear.
No, but other stuff.
That's to say nowadays. Probably shouldn't ever say that again, but it doesn't matter. Nobody cares anyway.
But other stuff.
I'm not a racist.
But other stuff we're gonna be doing though. So we'll have some fantasy booking stuff in the future. It'll be me and James as a tag team, and then when that gets uploaded, it's already recorded. It's on my channel. I just have to publish it. Me and Stephen Coakley, Walkland Rampage, actually did a fantasy booking, and he actually booked a universe where
for like another 5 years.
Yeah, well, he booked a universe where if Goldberg didn't leave WWE after WrestleMania 20, and you guys would be happy to know nobody died in that universe. So, except Eddie Guerrero, but that was unavoidable.
Wait, I'm confuzzled. Wait, he did a storyline where he made someone die?
Well, he did have Roman Reigns beat down the Undertaker and hit like 30 Superman punches while he was wearing brass knuckles. So pretty much.
Is Steve okay?
He is now because no one died except for Eddie Guerrero in that universe.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Wrestling Rundown. we're finally going to launch the Aftershock Corner. If you wonder where that's been, Chris was busy with work one week, and this guy right here made me change my schedule so much that we couldn't launch it this week. So,
sorry.
Yep.
I has problems with life.
I'm not gonna completely blame you because it's also football. Football always keeps getting in my way. So,
why do you do this on the weekends? Do it on a weekday.
Because because I didn't think you would actually take me up on my offer when I asked you to do a video with me. I thought you were gonna say no.
Well, I did.
No, you didn't. So you said I
did. You gotta tell him. You gotta be like, weekday, you and me. I'll do weekends with James or some shit.
Wait, we were supposed to do it on a weekday, and then you changed it. Then you slept in. So
I didn't sleep in. I think it's something happened. I don't even know why I had to cancel. My brain's all fucked. Okay. Leave me alone.
I need your brain better because I will need your creative juices when I have you on the fantasy booking. If if this is what your brain's gonna be like, you're not gonna book good stuff. So,
no, I'm creating. You'll be fine. Don't worry.
No, and then also, you'll have Aftershock Corner stuff on the week of January 30th and whatever the following Saturday is. I'm going to make a video every day on all channels. I want the Talkinator, CM Brothers, and this channel. It won't be like every day on each channel. It would be one here, one there, one everywhere. So,
hopefully we'll actually be able to edit them on OBS where you can do a bunch of shit and it will look cool. So,
maybe I'll do a thing where it looks like I'll do 3D effects where it looks like I'm coming right at you and throwing meatballs at you when I really am throwing meatballs at you. So. So I think. Do you think this video's done? Do you think this video's over now?
I just want to send it there. I don't know how we're gonna. What the fuck? Why meatballs?
Because why not? Because I had them for dinner, so I need to do something else with them.
Okay. Bye everyone. I'll talk to you later.